So, for those of you at long last, it is time for the true ending. So, if you're wondering why we're here, I wanted to go over the endings, show you that all 8 are filled in, which means number 9 is the only one left. Therefore, it is time to go ahead and hit the new game. I'm gonna punch skip. The choice you make here is completely meaningless as far as I know. The choice you make here is also completely meaningless.
Just shut up.
And now it's time to go on the true ending. The risk of trying to run away is too great. Even though I still can't wrap my head around the idea that he's a bad person, I can't imagine him trying to kill me. What he just did was terrifying, but if he wanted to do worse, he could have. He held back. Does that mean there's some humanity still in him? Or does that cold glare confirm my existing suspicions? I seriously wonder how much proofreading actually went into this. There's just so damn many typos. He keeps my arm held firm as I nod to him. Even though I accept the risk this brings, I'm not at all happy by my situation. Then again, who's happy about being forced to walk by your crazy friend who just shoved you back in time? Yeah, no takers on that one.
You said you were taking me to the council. What for?
You're in no position to be asking for answers, Sam.
I tugged slightly at his grip, causing him to turn to me, scowling right before we entered the seemingly thick crowds nearby.
I deserve to know.
It'd be far easier to simply bring guards over here to restrain you fully. But something tells me you wouldn't like that.
I don't know, Sam's a weirdo. That may be how he swings. I look down, knowing he's right. If Cyrus is working for the government somehow, then he has connections that enable him power no regular person has. On Orion, security forces are rarely seen. It'd defeat the purpose of utopia if they were visible. But when they do appear, their presence is always overwhelming.
Stay close.
Cyrus pulls me into the crowd of people. I'm immediately struck by how foreign this place is. The Unionist literature I see suggests it's Section 1, a completely different part of the ship. I would ask Virgil for advice, but I worry Cyrus would do something if I reach for my pad. The electronic signage I see indicates a series of announcements for events that are ongoing throughout the area. One in particular is interesting.
Does that say...
The nominating assembly in 3 days. Yes. You have a keen eye.
My guess is correct. The time jump just didn't move me to a different part of the ship. We're now 3 days in the past from my point of origin. Why would he want 3 extra days? Or is that just a fluke of the process? Time to bounce. I tug at his hold again, hoping that I may be able to escape in the larger crowd. The more I stay by Cyrus, the more I'm convinced I made the wrong call. This is too dangerous. There's no way in hell I can trust him.
You're testing my patience, Sam. I'd rather not break your wrist.
As if to emphasize his point, he tightens his grip, making me wince. I stop pulling back, hopeful that anyone will see what's going on.
Hey! Watch where you're going!
The new girl? What is she doing here?
Oh, my sincerest apologies. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
That's right, Cyrus brought me in the past by 3 days. That means she hasn't met us yet. That doesn't explain why she's in Section 1, though. In only a few days, she'd appear in Section 6.
You okay there?
It takes a few seconds before I register that she's talking to me. Cyrus lets go of my wrist, but it's too late. She's already seen it.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I lie. If Cyrus is willing to force me through a crowd to get to his destination, there's no reason for me to believe he won't hurt me in front of everyone. Either that or call the guards.
What's your name?
Something about her expression changes. A second ago, she seemed on edge, frustrated, but now, it's like she's genuinely excited to ask me this simple question.
My name's Sam. Sam Acacius.
I hope you aren't too busy. I've been looking for a guy to spend the day with.
What?
What the heck is going on?
Actually, the two of us were...
Not you.
Beat it, loser.
See men cute and easy on the eyes.
Okay. Thank you?
Come on, hang with me for the afternoon. I promise I don't bite.
She does worse than bite, unfortunately. She takes a step forward and grabs my hand. Unlike Cyrus, her grip isn't painful, but it is firm. I look to Cyrus, caught in an awkward position. I can't believe this. Why am I looking at my friend who just kicked me for 10 minutes straight? I shouldn't be waiting for his help.
I'm afraid he already has someone. Right, Sam?
Before I can say a word, she pulls me from Cyrus completely. I turn towards her, unable to articulate my confusion. Cyrus doesn't do anything. I don't hear any calls for guards or time jump efforts. Was everything from before just a bluff?
The name's Mari. Are you gonna thank me or what?
Huh?
Her arm drops away, removing any bit of touch between us. She walks forcefully through the crowd, at times, making me push through to keep up. I know Cyrus is somewhere behind, but I don't look back. I hope this place is safe.
Hey, wait up!
Finally, I get to a place in the crowd where there's enough space for me to walk right up next to her. My efforts to slow her down haven't worked, but...
Mari, hey! Are you going to tell me what's going on or what?
She slows down, stops, and turns to me. Her face is serious, a radical change from before.
Why were you walking with that government operative?
Government operative?
Cyrus Orphan? He's an aide to the director. You really don't know, do you? That must mean you're the kid then.
Is it just me, or have I been meeting a ton of people who seem to love being ambiguous? I step forward in an attempt to assert myself.
Tell me, why did you do that back there?
I knew what was happening. Not hard to tell with how pathetic you looked. Besides, I know anything Cyrus is doing is dark stuff.
How does Mari know this?
Are you really going to pretend you want to save him?
I hear the robotic voice come from my pad. Virgil's awake again.
Shut up!
Hey, what kind of program is that?
The most annoying one in this orbit of Earth. She reaches out and just takes the pad out of my hands.
Hey!
Oh, Sam! You need to keep a better watch on who gets a hold of me!
Good lord.
All right. Come with me.
After looking at the screen, she hands the pad back. Virgil still looks distressed, but there's a confidence in this girl that leads me to believe she's on my side. I know nothing about what's happening, and yet I feel comfortable with listening to her. Thought it would be nice to know where we are headed. So, where are we heading?
Where do you want to take me?
She lets out a sigh before reaching out and gently grabbing my hand again.
It's a place of answers.
Lies. We stand at the entrance of a small home that looks like any other resident in Section 1. I turn to Mari before walking in with her. She must sense my trepidation as she gives my hand a little squeeze.
I promise it'll be okay. We'll be able to help you.
Her words are so kind, but I still feel the stinging of Cyrus's betrayal. Can I trust someone with so little information? And the answer is no.
I'm sorry, but I think this is better if I do it alone.
And that's it. That's our final choice.
It's dangerous, Sam. I'll still be able to find you.
I appreciate it, Mari. But I promise you, everything will be alright in the end.
Okay. Best wishes, Sam.
I smile at the girl I've seen too many times to count. I don't know why I feel different this time, but none of the fear remains in my heart. For me, this is just another choice, another decision in the path of my life choices. Yet, something tells me this will be one of the most consequential in my whole life. I walk out into the crowds of the Section 1 populace. By now, I've memorized most of the faces. There goes a little boy with his younger sister, and by the far street there's a teenager my age just walking about. Yes, I've seen this many times before. Sometimes I run, others I stay out of a simple fear of the unknown.
Virgil, you okay?
Of course, I'm fine.
No. I mean, is this fine?
For a second, I'm afraid of what he's going to say. It's the first instance I felt legitimate fear this time around.
Oh, it's certainly the closest one so far, Samuel.
I smile, keeping my face upright as I continue to move through the crowd.
I think I made the mistake of actually listening to you a few too many times.
I look towards the pad with Virgil. A genuine, polite smile fits his face. I think this is the way it will work for me. Out of real fear, I follow my friend Cyrus, hoping there will be something different. But then, I'm saved by Mari, the revolutionary with the dark past. It was only when I decided to go on my own, to take an independent role for myself, that I truly get the freedom I desire.
Think you're willing to answer a question, Virgil?
Depends on the question.
How did you complete the resets?
The image on the screen has Virgil place his hand over his mouth, as if trying not to blurt out laughing. This, of course, is a good sign with him.
Information is powerful. Remember what I told you in the beginning.
About the sun?
I remember.
The timeline adapts to changes pushed throughout, and a single dose of knowledge can drive a radically different future.
I almost laughed from how simple this all was. All Virgil had to do was go back in time and give an individual a single bit of information. That'd be enough to change the timeline. And with the adaptive way it responds to change, no matter what Virgil did, this would always reset what happened to me.
But I remember.
You're special.
That was one of the few pieces of this puzzle I still can't wrap my head around. Why me? What makes me so special when Cyrus is just the same?
It'd be easier if I showed you.
I'm at your service, my friend.
As always.
You're such a little one, aren't you?
I think he takes his eyes from you, dear.
Those are the best part.
Hey, Mom, Dad, can I hold him?
Of course, Luka.
Be careful.
Hey, little guy. It's so cool to finally meet you.
Oh, look, honey, he likes him.
He's so cute. What's his name?
Samuel.
You can call him Sam.
Haha, that's a great name. Don't worry, I'll always be here to keep you safe. That's what big bros are for.
Where exactly is this place, Virgil?
You're between everything. An anti-time field. Everything happens at once on this thread. It's how I see the universe.
So, a ball of timey-wimey stuff?
But I'm able to see this, to hear this.
Patience.
I know what this place is. This is the place for my nightmares. The room where people have malicious intent. They want to hurt me, to experiment with the thing they discovered. I can see everything as it happens. The tests, the arguments, the final stages of their inevitable project. I would have never understood what this image meant without the privilege of this ability.
Do you remember?
On the flip side, he would have never been there in the first place if not for said ability, so go figure.
Only the sounds and the feeling of the table.
You were a child then.
Where's my family?
They're somewhere close, even in this scary environment. It wasn't meant to be anything mean at all, but after years, it's easy to misinterpret memories.
It's slowly coming back. The words of my father and mother, Luka's expression as he looked down at me. But there's warmth before this, a cozy bed, people who care the whole universe about me, who'd give up anything just to be near.
You weren't a creation, Samuel.
But you were still hatched.
Then what am I?
The first human of your next evolutionary stage.
A new type.
Then I was born with this? It wasn't some experiment in a lab.
Indeed. If anything, your gene, your existence, was the basis of what would become Cyrus Orthan. He does not realize that he is always second to your natural gifts.
Why me?
Why you? What a funny question. Did the first human wonder how he was different from those before him? It was a mutation. This is basic biology, Sam.
I have this on my own. This wasn't something I received from anyone. From my vantage point, I can see the blurry images of motion in front of me, like a film running on a high-speed loop. I had always believed that this origin of darkness held horrible secrets. I could have never imagined it was anything positive.
From one family of scientists to another, you were the basis for their tests.
How did they initially know?
It's always the small things, Sam. And from the small builds the hypothesis. And from there it spirals toward theory.
Such an experiment. If anyone else knew about it, would have been an extraordinary thing to comprehend. That a human was capable of this magic. Is it just the luck of this world that I'm the one forced to bear this all? Most people never find the meaning in their lives, believing that their speck of an existence in the larger universe is just a void, with no purpose, no value, and isn't there a K in speck? I'm beginning to learn that it couldn't be further from the truth. This shows that we are all connected. Even when we are small, we are part of something greater.
It is irrefutable. A human prototype would be invaluable to our research.
Why create such monstrosity? We will get there in time.
Time? To those of us in the past, and we are now of the past generation of our species.
So, you will use him.
There's no telling how stable he'd actually be. This is a duplicate of something we've never contemplated could exist within the human body.
No. He and the rest of these tests are critical. This will be our salvation.
Cyrus was just a copy then.
Virgil, I remember one time Cyrus himself was injured by his abilities.
The copies were all failures. Cyrus was the only one strong enough to cope. Of course, the side effects would be immediate. Pale skin, change in his eyes with the ability's use, white hair, and most importantly, an eventual death.
The setting sun rises as the moon weeps.
And the moon will weep, Sam. The government of Orion, up above our Earth, can do nothing as this process takes its hold. Neither Fae nor any human can control the rising tide of progress.
But they're trying.
They will fail.
That's harsh.
Are you sure you can do it?
Sure as I've been alive. Nothing will happen to him as long as I'm there. I'll be his shield.
My parents must not have been able to keep me safe on the surface. The amount of nations interested in this research surely was enormous. Yet they probably had no idea that Cyrus would be there too, or that the place I grew up in would begin showing characteristics of my own gene. Like that. Or that the place I grew up in. I don't know. Luka, everything you've ever done has been to keep me safe. Why did I see you with Cyrus so many times? There was no question mark there. I can't even explain the pain of remembering those cycles. Why?
You know everything.
From the beginning until the end.
It was you who sent the message. No one else had the capability or the desire.
Orion knew to trust me to act on my own. But it was her who embedded the message. It was I who created the riddle.
If he knew anything about me, it'd be that I wouldn't be able to hold back the interest from such a mystery. It would stay with me forever until solved, combined with the notice that everything I came to know would be destroyed. It was a functional guarantee that he'd push me on this journey.
Your presence, funny enough, has balanced the instability caused by your copy. But his death remains extremely problematic for everyone.
If I am like a hand that can fold space-time as I wish, to see it as if it were merely paper that I can touch with my hands, then Cyrus must be like a scissor. He may not know. In fact, he probably doesn't.
Is that what I have to do, Virgil?
I hear a soft chuckle in the darkness. This time, it doesn't fill me with happiness, only the frustration I experienced in 100 lifetimes.
Cut the thread. It is the only thing that will end this instability.
You mean for me to kill him?
Virgil doesn't respond immediately. My answer was wrong.
No. I want you to make it so he never existed in the first place.
You can do that yourself. I won't be party to killing someone. Whether physically or through temporal nonsense. Besides, it won't stop the efforts to destroy Section 6.
Now that's where you're wrong, Samuel Acacius. In every eventuality where you avoid meeting Kiyomi and Arwa directly, they manage to persuade the Council to stop Faye's plan. And yes, even when you aren't there.
I don't know what to think about his idea. Virgil knows everything about everything, but he wishes to force this as an act on my hands. I refuse to accept that the required act Virgil demands is necessary.
Cyrus knew who I was when he first fought me.
Naturally. When Faye discovered that the Cronate had arrived on his ship, he had Cyrus keep an eye on you. So long as you didn't understand who you were, a condition of his agreement with your brother, you wouldn't be touched.
Luka had an agreement with him?
I don't think it'd be right for me to say anymore.
Virgil!
The darkness evaporated into light, and my sense of where Virgil went was itself lost completely. I stand in my room, seeing the same things I had seen many times before. I lean down, look at the pad on my bed. It's the day before the elections, before the supposed destruction of Section 6. I hear the door open behind me, with the familiar footsteps that belong to one and only one person.
Luka!
I turn around and see him. For a moment, I forget about everything. The agreement he had with Faye, the times I saw him standing next to Cyrus. Right now, he's just my brother. My one and only brother.
I haven't seen you in so long!
Yeah, buddy, sorry I haven't been back. They've been running us like mad a few decks below.
For a few moments, all I want is the feeling of his arms around me, keep me protected from all the universe around us. I press my face into his shirt a bit quickly, but he accepts it all the same.
You alright, Sam?
This is the conversation we have to have. It's the conversation I don't want to have. Slowly, with a shaky breath, I pull back. My eyes lock with his, and something inside me says he already knows what may be coming. I just want him to say it.
I know, Luka. I know about everything.
That line can get you in so much trouble, especially when you don't know everything. He stands there, looking at me as the revelation registers on his face. Quietly, he brings a hand and presses it against my cheek. Just as quickly, it's removed.
I'm sorry. I had no other choice.
Okay.
They told me they'd do horrible things if I didn't obey.
So if you hear anything in the background, there is a lot of rain coming down all of a sudden, and the waveform on my recording is saying that it is picking it up ever so slightly. I'm hoping it doesn't drown anything out. We'll see. Luka takes a step forward and pulls me in, closer than I did to him. But I know he needs it more than me. This has been with him for his entire life.
Forced you?
All I wanted was for you to be safe. I don't know how, what to say.
Luka!
stop him. The last thing I want right now is to cry when this opening up should be happy.
I forgive you.
The air is almost sucked out of the room for that moment. Luka freezes and I can tell it's the 3 words he so desperately needed to hear.
You did it to keep me safe, Luka. There's no way I'd be mad.
I should have told you a long time ago.
You had to keep it a secret. I understand.
That doesn't make it any better.
Luka, you're my brother. I trust that your motives are always pure.
Except when they aren't.
Sam.
This is something to celebrate. I don't want to see you fearful anymore.
You sure?
Yes, always.
You should have seen how cute you look.
I give him a small elbow to the side, hoping to win a smile. I succeed.
Okay, you're still cute.
I smile back, pulling him in again for another hug. So much of what we've been through has been put on our own terms. Finally, we're able to embrace the joint truth in our lives. I don't know how long we stayed like that, but those seconds felt like they lasted forever. I couldn't ask for anything more.
There's still one thing I have to do, Luka.
I say this while finally pulling back, looking at him with a more serious expression. I haven't yet decided how to handle Cyrus. Should I act on Virgil's command or my own guesses? Today, I'm finally confident that I have 2 real choices.
Be careful, Sam.
I will.
He leans forward and presses a small kiss to my forehead.
Love you, Sam.
Love you too, bro.
Out of every possibility, only one truly made sense to me. I could never destroy Cyrus or any person. He may be a dangerous person, but the manipulation he suffered at the hands of Orion's government must share the blame. So is Sam gonna go back and commit suicide or something? What method could I possibly use to stop him? That's it. I don't have to stop Cyrus by removing him. I just need to remove the powers he has. If I'm the only one with disability, perhaps I can adjust the timeline to save Cyrus's life as well as my own. It's certainly dangerous. This might even change the shape of politics aboard this ship. But it's the best option available. A few changes to the experiment can make Cyrus's powers inert, and with that, Faye's weapon would be gone completely. Section 6 will be safe with his ideals out of the way. To keep the peace will require constant vigilance. For the sake of my brother, for the sake of every person on this ship, I have to do this.
Ah, that's quite an ingenious solution, Sam. Though I hope you've thought through the consequences.
I have. Everything will work fine. Things will be stable once again.
That's all I wanted to hear.
3 months later.
Where are those eggs?
Jeez, they're coming.
I'm going to starve. Oh, I can see the light, Luka. I can see the light.
You may be seeing the light now, but you're sure as hell gonna be seeing the dark when I ask you to clean your room.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Oh, he said I'd do it tomorrow.
Just like yesterday.
You said that yesterday.
And I meant it. Tomorrow still hasn't happened yet.
Oh, good God.
I mean, if you want to get technical, I guess I could go to tomorrow myself.
Eggs, in your mouth. Consume them. Eat.
They already died.
You're really gonna die if you don't shut the hell up.
Such a bully.
Maybe you're right about one thing.
Lucas shoves my shoulder.
You really are the most annoying brother ever.
Finally, you believe me.
The revolutionaries may not have won a complete change in our society, but a leadership shift occurred on its own. Even though I may be able to know what the future holds for Orion, I've made it my personal vow to keep such knowledge locked away, just as Virgil has always recommended. Humans are complex creatures, but all of us, in one way or another, are seeking the good we can find in each other. Even in this imperfect utopia, we've remained who we've always been. I hope it's who we always are. that's it. Okay, in terms of true endings, that one kind of sucked. So this is the flowchart for the game, I imagine. Right there would be the punch, no punch option. Next up would be the wait or abandon your curiosity.
Let a new sun rise.
It's so cold in here, frozen in time. Will anyone call out to me and save me from my mind?
Okay, it's time to talk. So as for my thoughts about the game, it does not feel completed. In terms of visual novels, there was next to no characterization in this one. The closest thing would be the Kaitos twins, and even still, like, their change was poorly explained, very rushed, and just incomplete. But otherwise, most of the other characters never really change. Like, we don't know all the specifics behind what all Luka was up to, and there's still just like a bunch of holes that are still there that kind of need to be filled in. In terms of voice acting, I didn't really hear any obvious mismatches. They all kind of worked. Nothing particularly special, I guess. As for the art, it was decent. The only thing is there's kind of a lot of blue. You can especially see it here, how the one yellow and the one red picture really do stand out because there's so damn much of it. But otherwise, yeah, that's my impression. For a true ending, like I said, that was pretty bad. There's still a lot of loose ends, and I don't know. Yeah, there's just way too much that was poorly explained. As for whether or not I'd be interested in another game from these devs, it's a maybe. To be blunt, there was not nearly enough proofreading done. There were tons and tons of typos all over the place. Like, I can understand if the team was small, but still. Like, normally when you see that many, you'd have to think that the script was kind of a rush job, as in, they may have finished it the week it was actually before it was supposed to be released. Otherwise, I was always under the impression you do the script first, and then as you continuously revise it and the art is generated, you can catch all the errors for the most part. Some will still get through, but not nearly as many as you find in this game. And another thing of note, I was not aware this was a Kickstarter game, to be honest. I just grabbed it because it was convenient at the time. Thought the price was kind of reasonable, but after playing it, I have to say the price is a bit high. But anyway, those are my thoughts. It's up to you on whether or not you agree or disagree. That's it for Orion for now, and I don't know what is in the future in terms of visual novels that are coming out, so I don't know when I'll be when I'll be doing the next one. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Until next time, I'm the hero